I am so glad that you are hanging out with us for the Devoted Life podcast. It's such an honor to have you with us, giving us a few minutes in your day, whether you're jogging or driving in your car or watching on YouTube. Thanks for spending some time with me. I'm Justin, and I get to host this incredible podcast talking about what does it look like to live a life devoted to Jesus? What does it look like to anchor every aspect of your life, every moment of your life around Jesus Christ, and what does a devoted life look like as it plays out in all the various different realms or spheres of life? And so thankful that you're taking some time to grow in Christ and to push into your relationship with Jesus in a deeper way. And so my dear friend Brad Lomenick is joining us today.
Let's go.
Brad. I'm so glad I get to hang out with you, not just today, but we got a couple days together. You're spending some time with our staff here at Vox, and so thanks for letting me pull you aside into the studio.
Devoted Life podcast. Let's go.
To actually talk about
how many episodes
Jesus.
are we in?
I have no idea. I don't know. Yeah, it's year 2.
50,
No, it's probably, let's see. This is episode number, I don't know what it is.
47.
Yeah, it's good though. But hey, if you don't know Brad, Brad is an amazing author, speaker, leadership expert, trendsetter, advisor, connector, host of the H3 podcast, leadership podcast. If you have not heard Brad's podcast, it's incredible, amazing leadership insights. And but more than any of that, for me personally, Brad is a dear friend. And it's been such an honor to get to know you through the years and watch you use your unique gifting for the kingdom of God. And so let's just kick it off like that. Give us a little bit of the Brad backstory. How did you, in terms of growing up, begin to sense this call to use your gifts for ministry? And then we'll get into some of the unique ways that you do that.
Sure.
But give us some background.
Well, shout out to First Church of God, Bristol, Oklahoma.
Okay.
Grew up in the First Church of God, Bristol, Oklahoma.
Let's go.
And was, pretty involved in the church. Got baptized early.
Okay.
Was in the youth group. So foundationally, I would say, looking at it from the arc of your story, your career, your sense of calling, for me, the foundational church life was paramount.
Yep. And
I know a lot of people have that. A lot of people don't. But for me, it was really important.
Yep.
And it set me on a course.
Yep.
Like many of us, you wrestle with that sense of, well, am I called to ministry? Am I called to the marketplace? Am I supposed to be in a certain lane? I thought that I was going to go the route of education.
Okay.
And so I went to school, went to University of Oklahoma.
And your brother's an educator, right?
My brother is an educator. I had 3 generations of educators.
Wow. Oh, interesting.
But I became the black sheep and sort of went a different path because of a place that you'd been called Lost Valley Ranch.
Yes. Yep.
That really put me on a different trajectory after college. And I got connected into the leadership space through John Maxwell.
Okay.
And sort of the rest was history at that point in terms of putting me on a different career path or arc. And here's the practical piece of this for anybody who's wrestling with this or they've got kids.
Yep. Trying to figure out their calling.
Yes. Get around the right who early in your life.
That's good.
The right who will many times lead you to the perhaps many expressions of the what. But for me, the right who was a series of a youth pastor, a college ministry director at Oklahoma, a seasoned 75-year-old founder of a guest ranch in Colorado, and then a 50-year-old, very established, best-selling leadership author.
Yes.
Those who's for me unlocked everything.
Wow. That is so insightful because I think instinctively we always say what
Yes.
what
Yeah,
career, what major.
Yes.
But if we shift the conversation and go, okay, if I'm trying to figure out purpose and calling, starting with who and saying, who do I need to be around that's going to actually help me understand who I am and what I'm uniquely gifted at? You and I had a conversation actually at the ranch with a few other leaders that has stuck with me, and I've stolen it and used it 100 different times, about calling an assignment. I don't know if you remember this, but it was a really insightful conversation in that it helped me because I've always kind of thought of calling an assignment as the same thing, but you, I think you had 3 stages, but talk to us a little bit about that. I think it's worth mentioning because I think maybe more than ever, people are struggling with a sense of calling, right? Despair, depression, anxiety, paralyzed by what do I do with my life? So just share a little bit about that. I'd love to hear more.
Yeah, the 3 big buckets or the framework is identity calling assignment.
Yeah.
Identity, who you are, calling, why you're here, assignment, what you do. So many times, and then we're talking about vocational expression.
Right.
We're not talking about a salvation calling. A
Right.
call to Jesus is the first step.
Yes.
This is really about, okay, what
does he want me to do?
Yes. What is the outlet of my gifts, my passions, my sense of God's story? So calling is let's think of it this way. Calling is the riverbanks. Assignment is the craft on which you're going down the river.
Yep.
So calling gives you direction. It's wide enough that it's not specific, but it's narrow enough that it is flowing in a certain place or
That's
space.
so good. Yep.
An assignment then are the many things that you might do as a job, for example. And here's why it's so important, Justin. You said it. The average 20-something is now going to have 15 to 20, sometimes 25 different seasons of assignments over the course of their career arc that should hopefully express their calling. The challenge is that many 20-somethings say, well, Brad, I want my calling and assignment to be the Venn diagram that immediately is lined up. And the answer is, well, me too, but
not
that's
going to happen.
Not going to happen.
Yep.
It might take you 10 assignments to find hopefully that one assignment that is now the best expression of your calling. So you've got to be faithful in the season you're in. You've got to be clear on the direction you're headed. And then you've got to be aware that the assignments are not the fullest expression. And what really happens, all of my friends who are professional football players, as an example,
assignment
who are musicians, as an example, who are they incorrectly now get their identity wrapped up with calling, and really when it's toxic is with their assignment.
Yes.
So now all of a sudden you look at that 32-year-old,
they don't know who they are.
Yeah. He just got cut from the the Patriots.
Yep.
And you're looking
That's
at
what happened to me. I got cut from the Patriots. Yeah.
You're looking at them going, okay, tell me about who you are. Well, I'm a football player.
Yep.
And why are you here? I'm here to play football. And what do you do? I play football. You got 1 out of 3 right.
Yeah.
There's still more on your life because football was an assignment.
Right. Assignment's over.
By the way, pastors,
same problem.
Same problem.
Yeah, it's good.
You're not called. I don't think you're called the way I'm using it to Vox Church.
Correct.
For example,
that's
you're assigned.
Yep.
Because what happens if you leave Vox?
Right. Now I don't know who I am.
Yeah, you didn't lose your calling.
Right.
You
Am I still a son? Am I still a child of God?
That's right.
Yeah. Wow, that's so good. When I was in college, crazy moment, I was roommates with a couple of football players, and one of them moved from North Carolina, a good friend of mine, moved to Connecticut to play football, and his whole life he was a football player, and he got radically saved unexpectedly, and now was a football player who loved Jesus. And going into kind of the most important year of his career, he got injured in preseason. And I remember he couldn't play the whole year. And he's thinking, I moved across the country to be a football player. Now I'm here, but I can't even play. And one morning he wakes up, big guy, 6'4", tight end, wide receiver. And he's in the corner with tears in his eyes in our dorm room. And I'm like, Ben, what's going on? And he goes, man, I think maybe God spoke to me. And he had this encounter with God that morning. And he was a pretty new believer. I was only a couple years following Jesus. And I said to him, well, what did God say? And he said, just because you know how you are doesn't mean you know who you are. And I was like, yeah, I think that was God.
Yes.
I think that was God. And that has stuck with me now 20-something years, because I think this is a real handicap in the lives of so many people, because they mix up how they are, or the assignment, the current assignment that God's given me, with their identity and then their calling. And so I think that just for all of us, whether you're a stay-at-home mom and the assignment is changing diapers right now, but you're going, oh, I have this great calling. Yeah, the current assignment is, changing diapers, but the calling is broader than that. And you won't change diapers forever, but you are changing them now. Or whether you're in a job where you go, I love half of this and the other half of it drives me nuts. Well, that's actually part of growing up, is learning the discipline of doing the parts of the job you don't love. And
yes.
And like what you said, I've now been in ministry 20-something years. I've been leading this church, for almost 14. And yeah, today, 80% of my job really fits into my calling, 85. And then there's these other things. Like when I'm in budget meetings, when I'm doing certain things, I'm like, I don't like this.
Yes.
But you have to be mature enough to know, hey, it's part of the assignment, and put your head down and get it done, Yes. And so, yeah. Anything else you want to say about that? But just super, super helpful frame.
Well, again, the framework there for anybody in whatever season of life you're in, but especially for younger leaders, this is paramount to get clarity. That's all we're shooting for on this is clarity.
Yep.
And clarity then gives you contentment, which gives you courage. I mean, we can go on with the C's that then helps you really be on point with your calling. So we're fighting for clarity. Yeah,
that was so
4
good.
C's.
Wow.
Clarity, though, is so important.
Yeah.
Because so many people are they're navigating these seasons confused.
Yep.
Or just wishy-washy, or trying to like seek God, especially as followers of Jesus. And the answer is many times, again, follow the breadcrumbs. God speaks to us, some of us, but he also many times is silent on, well, should I go to
this
New
way
Haven
or that way? Yeah.
and work at Vox?
Yeah.
Or should I go to Omaha and be part of, Berkshire Hathaway? Or should I move to Atlanta?
Well, that one's easy, right? New Haven, working Vox.
I just want some stock.
Yeah.
To go to Home Depot. Yeah. The answer perhaps could be any 3 of those.
Yep.
But what we have to then back up and start to really wrestle with is, well, which one of those is the best expression of my intrinsic gifts, my sense of passion, God's story on my life, and I would say sustainability.
Yep.
And sustainability many times meaning what is going to help me to create a lifestyle that allows for me then to be able to do things I want to do. And if you get those 4 quadrants moving in the right direction, then you've got something that feels like contentment because it's
really good. Well, you're a great example of this to me because, you've colored outside the lines. And I want to talk a little bit about that.
Yes.
In that, ironically, that is my journey. I was the guy who said, hey, I want to serve Jesus in ministry. I just never, ever, ever want to be a pastor, And so my vision was like, I'm going to be a speaker. I'm going to be a worship leader. I'm going to be a uniter. I'm going to be all kinds of things, but I'm not going to be a pastor. Yeah. And then the Lord, did what he does and says, surprise, I'm going to have you go, fall away into obscurity in the least church region and go plant a church. And it's been the greatest joy in my life. It really has, for sure. And I, God willing, want to do it till I'm dead. But I've watched you, and I love that you have not allowed sort of the template of modern Christian ministry to define you. And what I mean by that is, okay, you're coaching both businesses and churches in leadership circles. You're tying key Christian leaders together in a way that no one else is. I mean, across the country and the world. You're ministering in a way that is both in the church and outside the church. And then you're also leveraging like technology, media, podcasts, all that kind of stuff, and books to reach people. And so you have kind of like created a lane that is uniquely fit to you. What was that like, even going back to, and if you know some of the history of kind of church leadership, yes, John Maxwell was a huge catalyst for launching church leadership, but then you took it to another level and really began to gather young leaders through the whole Catalyst Conference and all the movement that came with that.
Did you ever come, by the way?
I sure did. Oh, absolutely. I was there. You didn't know who I was. You didn't care about me.
You
put me on the nosebleeds.
7?
Yeah, it's absolutely right. Yeah, but I was there. Absolutely. Those conferences changed my life and had a huge impact. And I'm sure that, today you look at the 40-somethings, 50-somethings, and mid-30-somethings, those conferences did change all of our lives, and so God did use them as these catalytic moments. But how did that form for you? How did that vision begin to form for you? Because it is unique.
It is unique, and this is the question I get asked a lot from students.
Okay.
College students, those who are early in their career.
Yep.
How do I get on the path
to
end up where you are?
Sure.
And the answer is, I don't know. I have no idea how you end up where I am because it's not the traditional path of the ladder or the stair steps.
Bible college youth pastor, senior pastor. Yeah.
And I would say, are you a pastor, Brad? My answer is yes.
Yeah.
Well, are you on staff?
Right.
Well, where am I not on staff?
Yeah.
Right.
You're on staff here right now.
Yeah. But I also look at it as there's a lot of things that I do that again they're a sense of assignment on me. My calling is clear though. I connect, gather, influence influencers.
Yep.
That's my statement.
Yep.
I connect,
I like it.
Gather, and influence influencers. I know what that means.
Yep.
I know what it doesn't mean.
Yep.
So the question then of, well, how do you create a path down a lane that hasn't been formed? Well, for me, I've got to get clear. And Kevin Kelly, who is a savant, he started Wire magazine, and he's the one that came up with the 1,000 True Fans. And this guy, he says it's hard for his wife. He's now in his 70s. It's hard for his wife to understand what he does. because he's carved a path that nobody else has ever carved.
Yep.
And his phrase is, I've got to keep moving to the place that only I can be in.
I like that.
Because of the season that God has given me.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not throwing anybody under the bus who doesn't, as you said, paint outside the lines.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or take the machete and start cutting down, a new path to get there. But I want to be in places and out on the end of the diving board where only I can do what I'm doing.
Yep.
Because there's other people that can do what I've done.
Yep.
Right?
Really
now, that's challenging for so many of us because it goes back to the sustainability question.
Right.
Well, Brad, how do I actually, let's be honest, how do I make money?
Right.
How do I actually
sustain my life? Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And the answer is, well, you get innovative. You think outside the box.
Yep.
You start figuring out
different streams, different strategies. Yep.
Exactly. So I'm not saying this is true for all of us. Here's I think practically, what does that mean for the average leader who's watching or listening to this?
Yep.
I would say your ability today, more than ever before in the history of mankind, to craft a path because of free agency, project generation. We're all able to be entrepreneurs.
Yep.
It's possible.
Yep.
Now the question has to become then, well, should I?
Right. That's good.
A lot of people think they're an entrepreneur and they're not.
Yep.
COVID forced a lot of people to go out on their own.
Yep. And
then they realized, wait, I love being inside of an organization.
Yeah.
I'm an entrepreneur.
Yep. Well, that's good.
Instead of an entrepreneur.
Look at that.
Right?
Yeah.
Most of us at our core we want to have the covering of an organization that gives us freedom to roam.
Yep.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that is good.
If you feel the urge to go start your own thing or be, truly be somebody who's crafting a new path, then go do that. But you have to make sure that that's the thing that you're supposed to do for this season.
I love it. I know for me, the box was the last thing I wanted. And then when the Lord brought me to the box, when it comes to like actually pastoring a church, one of the things that was liberating for me from the beginning that I think I did instinctively, but looking back now has been a huge part of the fruitfulness that we've seen at Vox is I never asked like, what's a lead pastor supposed to do?
Yeah.
Or like, what are the things that are expected of me nearly as much as I asked of like, what's the unique grace on my life? And how do I architect a ministry and a pastoral role that leans into those things, and then find others that are really gifted in other areas where I'm not and partner, And so I know for me, like now, my world as a lead pastor doesn't look like a lot of other worlds as a lead pastor. And that's been, freeing for me, but also, it's allowed me to be fruitful in ways that I definitely wouldn't have been. One thing I've learned about you that I really love is you have a way of seeing people. You did this to me when we first met, seeing people, grasping, and maybe you do this so instinctively, I don't know if you'll have language for this or not, but grasping the essence of their gift and then calling it out of them. And like, I've watched you do it so many times now, but you've done it to me, you've done it to so many people, and you're very, and I know it's a gift from the Lord and it's a real intuitive gift. But when you said like, hey, my real gifting is in connection, this is a big piece of that connection because when you're with someone, you're listening, you sense like, okay, here are the 20 things they can do, but here's the one thing that's really the essence. And then you name it. And when you name it, it liberates a person.
Yeah.
And I've watched you kind of, I don't know what you want to call it, unlock calling a lot of times in guys' lives where we're just sitting around a table and you go, but you can do this.
Yeah.
And when you say it, they're like, wow. Because a lot of times, listen, I thought I was a singer. Turns out I'm way better preacher than I ever was a singer. We don't know ourselves. Like knowing yourself is an evolution. It's a progressive thing. And I didn't know how I was wired, and I needed people to call it out of me in order to actually figure it out for myself. Give us insight into how you do that, because I think it's one of the most important gifts that is lacking severely. It really is, I don't want to get too, it's a spiritual fathering gift.
Yeah.
It's that anointing to release destiny in people's lives by naming the grace that's on them.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you even have words for this. I didn't prepare you for this podcast, but you do this literally better than anyone I know.
Well,
you call it out of people, and then I watch it bear fruit because it unlocks them. They go, wow, that is what I'm good. They see it now, and then they can go live it.
I think some of that. Well, okay, let me try to break it down. It is discernment. It is wisdom. I pray for both.
You have
those
a
things.
spiritual gift of discernment, no doubt.
And I've prayed for those for 40 years.
Yep.
Very intentionally.
Okay.
I didn't know, and I still am not sure. Is it prophetic? Probably.
Yes.
There's probably elements of that.
Absolutely.
It looks different for everybody. So I would describe it as I pull the gold out of people.
Yes.
That is in them.
Right.
That they don't know is in them.
Yep.
And much of the time, you said it, the most important component is a discernment that is spirit-led and listens.
Yep.
There's so many breadcrumbs that people drop without even knowing they dropped them on the path to, again, clarity around what is already in them.
Right.
My job is just to listen for it.
Yep.
So,
well, and the gift of faith to speak it.
Yeah, and that comes
courage.
with experience. It comes with platform. It comes with a level of, let's call it, wisdom over time. It comes with the authority that I then feel comfortable and confident to be able to say that.
Yep.
I'm also very clear with people of, hey, listen, I could be totally wrong.
Right.
Which also gives me grace to take shots that I may not be willing, that I may not should take.
Sure.
The 3-pointer from half court.
Right. Sometimes they don't fall.
Yep. Right. But I feel like it's now a stewardship.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's good.
So many people who are on the receiving end of it, as you said, they are just happy that somebody's willing to be intentional about trying to find it in them.
Yes.
Because they've never really had anybody that's taken notice of what's in them.
Oh, well, I want to linger here just for a second because I think that in the cultural moment in which we are living, this is a gift that is so desperately needed amongst believers. And this is the whole, sing to one another in psalms, hymns, and spiritual songs. Yes. Encourage one another. The gifts of prophecy are for edification, exhortation, and comfort. Like, this is a missing piece. And by the way, it's one of the reasons why people are walking around so foggy is because we don't have enough fathers and mothers saying, I see this. So if I want to grow in this, and I'm talking to a guy that's very gifted in this area. Okay, so these are things. Take notes here, friends. You have to listen.
Yes.
That's a big deal. You have to listen. We suck at listening in general. So slow down, actually listen. You have to pray for this gift to grow. Paul said, earnestly desire the spiritual gifts, right? So when you say, hey, for 40 years, I've been praying for increased discernment. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. You're listening to this right now. You're, jogging, you're on a treadmill, whatever. When's the last time you prayed for increased discernment? If you're like, man, I don't think I've ever prayed for that. Okay, well, I think it's time to start. And this is so essential, not just for pastors and leaders, and this is essential for moms and for dads and for youth workers and for, bosses. This is a huge piece of what our world is missing right now. Anything else that immediately comes to mind? Praying for discernment, experience practicing, developing skills as a listener. Anything else pop in your mind and go, I also do this? Because sometimes the things we do, we don't even know we do.
You're looking for patterns. And patterns, I think patterns, the ability to see patterns and connect dots is also a spiritual gift.
Yep, no doubt.
Being willing to stay in it long enough to then, it's the next level of listening. And a lot of people would say, how many questions does it take, Brad? How much time do you need with somebody? Well, sometimes you get there quick, but you've got to go. You got to go to the basement.
Yeah,
you got to go 4 layers down into the nuclear reactor room. You got to get past what people want to tell you, and to get to what they need to tell you. And again, so much of that is that you're willing to do the stewardship of staying a little longer in that conversation. And I don't know what that's called, but it's a combination of listening with more intensity.
Yep.
You're also taking risk with people.
Yep.
And that one many times is the hardest.
Yeah. Yep.
Especially for people that
can't be risk averse. Yeah.
Especially for people that you want to try to impress.
Right.
It's easy to give wisdom to Rick, who's 19.
Right.
But when I try to give this same expression
to top level leaders,
oh my gosh, to a CEO of a $100 billion company,
right?
I'm a little bit shaking in my boots, but I've got to take that risk because who else is taking that risk on them? They don't have it, and this is for me stewardship.
Yeah, It's really good.
People in places of power,
Fewer voices that will speak.
oh
truth.
my gosh, they're starving for somebody to say something to them that looks different than just you're the best.
Right.
Right? So it's a combination of challenge, of encouragement, of edification.
Yeah, rebuke at times. Yeah, warning.
Yes.
Yep.
And that's a place that now I just feel very comfortable navigating in.
What do you look as you like? I don't want to call it a talent scout because that's
No, it is.
That's but you are.
Yeah,
you are.
it
You're
is.
like the Simon Cowell of Christian leadership. Like you
put that on my MySpace
you
page.
pick. Yeah. I mean, listen. When you met me, right? You didn't have to ever follow up with me. I was with a group of like 4 or 5 other leaders, and like you followed up with me.
Yeah.
And I was
know
like,
why?
I don't really know why.
I saw potential.
Yeah. So
I saw current kinetic. I
think you and I argued the whole time we first met.
We
like
did.
I was like, I don't believe in that. I don't think you're like we just argued.
You were also you felt the need to sort of like not put me in my place, but you felt the need to challenge some presuppositions, which
Sure.
I lean into that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I love that.
Right.
In those kind of environments, so those kind of little gatherings of leaders. But I saw it. I saw potential energy. I saw kinetic energy. I saw all the things, and that's a discernment for me.
Yeah,
Which exactly what you said, Justin. It's talent scout. How do you find the next leader who has so much stored up potential that all they need is a connection or two?
Yep.
All they need is a gold nugget or two.
Yep.
An ego biscuit or two.
Right.
Hey, you should talk to this person or two.
Yep.
And then they're off to the races.
And then the exponential. Yep.
That's an asset that I trade.
Yes, you do. Yep.
That's a big part of my portfolio.
Yep.
Is I'm looking for what are the stocks, let's just use that language. If I have an ETF, an exchange trade fund of the 1,000 leaders in America who are going to impact over the next 50 years, I can guarantee you I'm doing my due diligence.
Yes. Well, and you do it so well. So I know that, again, I'm putting you on the spot, and I'm not looking for clean answers. I'm looking more just for like the sauce underneath. When you're in a room of leaders or you're with someone you don't know that well, what are the things, like, I don't know, 5 things, 10 things, 3 things that you go, when I see that,
good question,
I lean in?
Well, humility, it starts with humility.
Humility.
I mean, it's the 3 H's, like humility, hunger, and hustle.
Yeah.
How that looks when I'm in a room is there's a posture of curiosity.
Yeah, okay. It's good.
Which automatically, when somebody, whether they're asking me or somebody else, but I notice immediately that they're willing to listen and learn from somebody else, that immediately the radar goes off.
Yeah, this guy.
The neon flashing sign. Okay, this is somebody to pay attention to.
Yep.
I would say they actually have the ability to add value to other people, and they may not even know how to do it yet, but they've already got this posture that says, I want to be somebody who injects courage into other people.
Yep.
That's a neon flashing sign.
Yep.
When I sit in a staff meeting, I'm looking for people who are taking notes.
It's good. Yep.
So all of you who don't take notes, I don't throw you under the bus because I don't think you're intentional, but I do. Because you're not proving, you're not validating anything to me.
Yep.
Even if you're writing the grocery list.
Right. Right.
Because what it does is it honors the person who is now teaching you.
Yep.
And I watched John Maxwell do this for years.
Yeah.
Somebody else is doing his stuff.
Totally.
He's taking notes.
Totally.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So those are 3. I mean, let's stick with those for now.
That's so good.
There's always signs. There's always, now you can also tell from people's, their presence. So when I start talking to somebody, there's a presence about them. That's something they carry that automatically draws you in.
Yes.
A lot of people who are naturally, they've been in places of leadership or they've stepped out.
Yep.
They've been the captain of their sports team.
Right.
A lot of those things naturally will put you in that place.
Sure.
So that one I don't put at the top, but I definitely.
But it's on the radar.
Yes. When I see it, you know it. And there's also just there's a spirit on somebody. And that's, as a follower of Jesus.
Yep.
That can you argue that you're carrying more of the Spirit of God?
Right.
Perhaps.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's tangible in you. Like it's oozing out of you. There's something about you that is distinct. It's different.
Yep.
And I'm looking for those signs. So again, the practical thing for somebody as they think about how, if I'm that person trying to stand out in a room, is be the one that is perhaps
leaning in.
Yes.
Yep.
You're leaning in. You're going against the grain in some ways.
Yep.
Of what the average person is doing.
Yep. That's so good. All right. How the time flies. We're wrapping up, but I got one more I want to hit you with because I feel like this is, these are such relevant points of tension, I think, especially right now in people's lives. But I want to just ask, as you partner, work with, walk with in close relationship, a number of the most influential leaders in the church and also in the business world, but let's just talk about the church for a minute, across America. And so you're in those rooms, you're connecting with those people, you're talking with those leaders. What are you seeing right now? Give us like the 2-minute of like, hey, here's what I see right now, good or bad, that you see like, hey, it seems to be what God's breathing on, or or at least what I'm recognizing amongst the church leaders of the Western Hemisphere as I interact with them.
Definitely a spirit of expectation. No question. Let's call it revival. Let's call it awakening. Let's call it an outpouring. Let's call it a move. Let's call it encounter.
Yes.
Any of those words.
Yes.
There's a fresh expression.
Yep.
We're seeing all the trends moving in the right direction. People,
younger people, turning back
more
to
curious,
Jesus.
more spiritually interested.
Yep.
So
our largest demographic at Vox is 18 to 35, and it's growing every year.
Yes.
We actually measure it every year, and it's actually increasing, and it's already been, so it's wild. It's exciting.
And that is I think it's both it's a stewardship for those of us who sit in places of influence.
Sure.
To say, how do we come alongside what God is already doing?
Yes.
And let's not
steward it well.
Let's not reinvent the wheel. Let's move to where he's already showing up.
Yep.
And you got to figure out what that looks like in your context.
Yep.
Another thing is, I think there's a true sense among the highest level leaders, because so many of our friends are getting taken out of the game.
Yep.
That we've got to do more due diligence
That's right.
on ourselves.
Yep.
To make sure we don't get taken out of the game.
Yes.
And call that what you want. Call it, I'm putting in more things that will keep me from doing dumb stuff.
Yep.
But I would say, because of the rooms that you and I get to sit in with the people that are carrying a lot of weight and responsibility at the highest levels, they are the ones most intentional.
Yes.
About saying, I've got to protect myself from myself.
That's right. It's so good.
And those that don't do that,
they're done.
Well, they're sure putting themselves in a vulnerable situation.
Yeah.
And we think the higher you go up the ladder of spiritual maturity, influence, authority, power, whatever, the higher you go up, the less I need that.
Yeah.
Actually, the more you need it.
Yes.
So if you're starting out, if you're 22 and just trying to figure out how do I put things in place, Brad, I don't really steward anything right now. No, you have to start with the end in mind.
Yeah.
So be willing to do more at 22.
It's good.
Than the person who is now 62.
Yep.
And has had 40 years on you.
So good.
And that's a legacy building mindset in terms of the habits you put in your life.
But you're seeing some leaders really lean into that.
No question.
Yeah, that's a big deal. I mean, that's worth pausing
and
going,
news.
Praise the Lord. Yeah, because
that's good news.
Yeah.
And these are the people at the highest levels.
Yep.
We won't name names, but anybody that you follow, watch, pay attention to, leading the biggest churches, sitting in these places, they are saying, I'm so tired of the news story being that another one of our friends got caught doing something stupid.
Yeah. Yep.
So let's do more than we feel like we even need to.
Yep.
Let's put 7 layers of protection from going to that website we shouldn't, or to talking to that person we shouldn't, or to showing up in that place we shouldn't be.
You've modeled that for me and connected me with other guys that are doing that. It's become a huge part of my life. On my desk at home, you gave me this little, what do you call it? Like a cup holder thing, where you put your cup on.
Yeah.
And it just says, finish the race well.
Yeah.
And I've kept it. I've had it for years. It's just sitting on my desk. It reminds me of you. But it also reminds me that, like, hey, I'm a part of a company of people who are committed to actually running this thing well all the way until we meet Jesus face to face. And I think that is so important in this current moment amongst church leaders. Yeah, that's really good.
Well, and let me just say this to wrap. I know we got to jump, but start with the end in mind. I said it. When I was 23, 24, working at Lost Valley Ranch, I was being mentored by a 75-year-old who had started that place, Bob Foster. So 50 years ahead of me. And constantly he would say, Brad, your 20s establish your 70s.
Wow.
Your 20s establish your 70s. Your 20s establish your 70s. And
So good.
what he's saying was the man of God you are at 23 will determine the man of God you want to be at 75.
Yeah, that you're sowing right now. Yeah.
So wherever you are in your journey, whether you're 15, 25, 35, 65, finish the race well means you start now putting those things in place.
So good.
Don't wait.
Yep.
Don't wait until you're stewarding something to start to have the things in place that you're going to need.
Yeah, because you won't make it. You'll crumble under the pressure.
You will crumble, and we always default to, I'll do it when I get there.
Yeah. Yep.
You won't.
No, you won't.
No, you won't.
It's a good word. That is such a good word. Hey, what an honor. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Thanks for letting me be on.
Oh, my goodness. It's just a ton of thoughts worth reflecting on and worth building in our lives. So hope this encouraged your soul as you listened, as you watched. And I just encourage you, as you're processing this information, you are called and you have a unique and particular assignment right now. And so lean into that calling, that assignment, and root that identity in Jesus above all else. And when the assignment changes, the world doesn't fall apart because your identity is sure and your calling is secure. Thanks for hanging out with us. Like it, share it, get the word.